So I'm Helen Proctor, I'm the Sentience Manager for the World Society for Protection of Animals, and myself and my colleague Gemma Carder are working here with dairy cows to actually look at how to measure positive emotions, and we're doing this by inducing a state of positive, relaxed, low arousal state, and then looking to see whether certain measures of their behaviour and their physiology could be indicative of their emotional state. So how we're doing this is we're doing 5 minutes of a stroking session, and the cows are habituated to this and they see this as a positive experience, and then we are observing them before and after the stroking period and as well as during, and we're recording their eye whites. So we're looking at the percentages of visible eye white. We're recording the ear postures that they perform, the duration of those, and also how often they change their ear postures. We're also recording their nasal temperatures, and then also behaviours as well, such as whether they're stretching their necks, whether they're ruminating, whether they're laying down or stood up, whether they're grooming or being groomed, as all of this can affect their behaviour as well. The reason why it's really important to measure positive emotions in animals is because the whole of animal welfare science has focused primarily on negative states in animals, and of course this is really important. Welfare should be about removing these negative states and negative emotions in animals, but recently there's been a real shift within the science, and we're now recognising that actually promoting positive behaviours and positive emotional states in animals is also just as important as removing the negative ones. But of course, because we spent so much time focusing on negative emotions in animals, we don't know how to measure positive emotions. We don't know what animals do when they're happy or when they're experiencing these positive emotions. We may know intuitively, and if you speak to any farmer, they'll give you their own account of what a cow's behaviour is telling them. But we scientists need something that's a bit more rigorous and tangible to actually be able to use consistently. So it's really key that we identify these measures so we can bring them into practice. In terms of working with animals, I found lots of interesting behaviours with the cows. It's been quite a unique experience in how we're doing it. A lot of scientific studies, you're the other side of the fence, or you're down at the bottom looking up at the trees, and you don't get to interact with the animals. But because we're interacting on a regular basis with the animals, we're really seeing another side of them. We've really got to know all their individual personalities and their characters, their preferences, whether it's where they like to lay, to go to rest, or which order they go off the milking in, or which order they'll feed in at the feeding area. They all have very much unique personalities, and speaking with the farmers here, they say that a lot of these personality traits they've seen them throughout their lives, and so it's been really unique to be able to be a part of that and a part of the cow herd as well, and get to know these cows really well. Really like this research to be a part of current dairy practices once we actually have significant results. So when we finish analysing all the footage that we have and analysing all the data, we'll be able to tell whether the behaviours and the measures that we're looking at, whether they're successful or not. If they are, they're very tangible, easy, quick measures to do. It's something you don't need equipment for. The whole idea of this study was to make it very simple for farmers to actually be able to come in and say, okay, that cow is stressed or in a positive state during that situation. So I'd very much like it to be something that's on farm and used perhaps when this farm is a teaching farm, so they'd be able to tell how the cow's mood when they're being held for a long time during teaching. But also wider than that, we hope that as welfare shifts towards looking at negative states looking at positive states in animals, we hope that these measures will join the negative measures that are already in place. So when a welfare assessor is looking at an animal's welfare, they're looking at both the positive and the negative states.